Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottanam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudiyayat Nastabe Sriyabhatresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistike. We are reading from the 10th canto, chapter 66, the chapter on the liberation of Pandraka, King Pandraka. And we are reading text 7 and 8. 8 as a purport and is on the board. We will first read text 7. So the messenger of Pandraka has just read the message that for good to, because this is a continuous story that some technical problem here. Yeah. So in the previous verse, Pandraka said, "O Sattvata, give up my personal symbols, which out of foolishness you now carry, and come for me for shelter. If you do not, then you must give me battle." So these were the words of the messenger of Pandraka. And now Sukadeva Goswami speaks that Shri Shuka Uvacha Katanam Tat Upakarnya Pandrakasya Pamedasa Ugrasena Daya Sabya Usakerya Hasustata. No, I read the translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, King Ugrasena and all the members of the assembly laughed loudly when they heard this vain boasting of unintelligent Pandraka. There are short comments by Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami writes, hearing the boastful words of Pandraka, who had little intelligence, Ugrasena and others laughed loudly in the presence of the Lord. Sanatana Goswami. Hearing near the Lord the astonishing, boasting words of the fool Pandraka, immediately the members loudly laughed together in the assembly. So, then we have here the reply of the Supreme Lord. So it's on the board, please repeat. Uvachadutam Bhagavan Parihasa Katam Manu Utrakshe Mudasinani Yaist Famevam vikatase. Uvachadutam bhagavan parihasa katam manu utrakshe muda sinani yashtvamevam vikatase. Uvachadutam bhagavan parihasakatam manu utrakshe mudasinani yastvamevam vikantase. Please repeat.
Vachadutam Bhagavan
Uvachadutam bhagavan
Parihasakatamanu
parihasakatam
Utrakshe Mudachinani
utrakshe mudasinani
Jaistvamevam Vikattase
yastvamevam vikatase.
Uvachadutam bhagavan
Uvachadutam bhagavan parihasakatam manu
utrakshe mudachinani
utrakshe mudasinani yastvamevam vikatase. Mataji, Uvachadutam bhagavan parihasakatam manu utrakshe mudasinani yastvamevam vikatase. Uvachadutam bhagavan parihasakatam manu utrakshe mudasinani yastvamevam vikatase. Uvachadutam bhagavan parihasakatam manu utrakshe mudasinani yastvamevam vikatase. Word for word translation. Uvacha set dutam to the messenger Bhagavan the Supreme Lord. Parihasa joking. Katam discussion. Anu after. Utrakshe I will throw. Muda O fool. Shinani the symbols. Yahi about which. Tvam you. Evam in this way. Vikantase are boasting. Translation and purport by the disciples of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. The personality of Godhead, after enjoying the jokes of the assembly, told the messenger to relay a message to his master. You fool! I will indeed let loose the weapons you boast of in this way. That purport. The Sanskrit word utrakshe means I will hurl, throw, let loose, abandon, etc. Foolish Pandika demanded that Lord Krishna give up his powerful weapons, such as the disc and the club. And here the Lord replied, Utrakshe muda sinani, yes fool, I will let loose these weapons when we meet on the battlefield. In the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada nicely describes this scene as follows. When all the members of the royal assembly, including King Ugrasena, heard this message sent by Pandraka, they laughed very loudly for a considerable time. After enjoying the loud laughter of all the members of the assembly, Krishna replied to the messenger as follows: "O messenger of Pandraka, you may carry my message to your master. He is a foolish rascal. I directly call him a rascal and I refuse to follow his instructions. I shall never give up the symbols of Vasudeva, especially my disc. I shall use this disc to kill not only King Pandraka but all his followers also. I shall destroy this Pandraka and his foolish associates who merely constitute a society of cheaters and cheaters." A few small commentaries. The first is from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. "I will make you give up those symbols, Utrakshe, by which you falsely glorify yourself. Or I will throw Utraksha, my symbols, my Sudarshan, Chakra, etc., at you and at those with whom you are talking." Shiv Goswami. After the assembly had laughed loudly, Parissa Kata Manu, at the false talk, the Lord spoke to the messenger. He said, "Give up your weapons. Yes, I will release those weapons about which you boast, or I will release on you my weapons, which you praise as my symbols." Jai. Om Mahyanati Mandasya Jananjala Shanaka Shakshurun Militam Yena Tasmahi Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swamrupakadamyam Dadati Svapadam Tikam Vandeham Shigo Shri Yuda Padakamanam Shigom Vaishnavam Shah Shri Rupam Jagajatam Sakanaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Saitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sakanadita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandha Jatpate Gaupesha Kapka Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kansna Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sutta Devi Pranamama Devi Vanka Kalpta Vishake Pasanve Vishapatnam Pavanabhyo Vaishnabhyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharni Nirvishesa Srinyavadi Paskachari Desatani Hila Prabhupada Ki. So, here King Pandraka really thinks he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it's foolish, because the powers of the Supreme Lord are described by Parasara Muni. That he says, a Bhagavan means one who all possesses all opulences. And he describes 6 opulences. You can tell me one of these opulences? Remember?
Fame.
Please? Fame. And how is fame in Sanskrit? Mother Yasoda. Yasoda means one who gives fame to the family. Yasa, fame.
Beauty?
Yeah. Please?
Beauty?
A beauty in Sanskrit?
Sundara?
Shri. Shriya. Shri. Yeah.
Knowledge.
Shriya. Knowledge.
Yang.
Jnana.
Renunciation?
Renunciation.
Arabic.
Vairagya.
Wealth?
Wealth.
Advaita?
Aishvarya. And power. Virasya. So these are the opulences of the Supreme Lord. And that, yes, Supreme Lord has many incarnations also. That this is mentioned in the, of course, in Brahma Samhita, this verse, Ramada Murtsikalen Yaminatistam Nanavaktaram Akarobu Vanesha Kintu Krishnasvam Swabhava Pramapumanyo Govindamadi Pushantamam Bhajami. There are as many incarnations as there are waves in the ocean. But the main incarnations, they are described in the Bhagavatam. That, and we hear about many kinds of incarnations. That, of course, you have Krishna expands in Svayamrupa and in the living entities. That but he incarnates us, or he expands us, Balaram, who is the source of all further incarnations. That it's said in the Bhagavatam, Eti Shamskalapam Shan, Krishna's tu Bharavansvam, Indravya Kalamlakam Rityan Yogivan. That so Krishna expands as Svamsa and Vibhinamsa, the Shiva, the Shiva, yeah, the living entity. It's compared like the sun and the rays of the sun. How many rays has the sun? Quite a few. So there are the rays of the sun are compared to the living entity. That, and the sun is different from the rays of the sun. So the rays of the sun can never become the sun. But Pandraka thinks, yes, I become the sun. That, so that is the worst offense. If you are in the court of a king, what's the greatest offense? Then claiming that I'm the king. That what will happen? What will the king do if one of his citizens claims to be the king? Yes. That. So yes, Nityo Nityananam Shetana Shetananam Eka Bhaunam Vidadati Kamam. That's a verse quoted many times by Prabhupada. Krishna is the greatest eternal, the big soul among all eternals. And he is the maintainer of all other living entities. So we have here in the Bhagavatam, in the Mahabharata, we have Duryodhana. Duryodhana could not understand who Krishna was. Could not understand Krishna's position. But he was so envious of the Pandavas. And that envy leads to rebellion against all authority. And Krishna came with a peace mission to Duryodhana and gave him good advice. He said, Duryodhana, if you please give the Pandavas their legal heritage, and you make friendship and you rule together, and you will be able to live in peace, and nobody will be able to conquer you. Together you will be so mighty, and you will have all opulence and enjoy your kingdom. But what was the answer of Duryodhana? No, I will not give them even the land under a pin, a needle. Even that, he didn't want to give them anything. And then he decided to catch Krishna and imprison him. And Krishna showed his universal form. But Duryodhana was not impressed. He said, oh, Krishna has some mystic power, yes. But he didn't get the point. So yes, we see, he thinks himself an incarnation. Today, so many incarnations are popping up like mushrooms. But yes. But if we go to the root of what's happening here, is that this envy and this rebellion against authority, this envy is factually the root cause of the 10 offenses against the holy name. Factually. Because these 10 offenses are all about forms of disrespect, right? Disrespecting the spiritual master by not following his instructions. So disrespecting the holy name, thinking it's imagination, the power of the holy name, or abusing the holy name to become purified from sinful activities, or disrespecting the Vedic literature, disrespecting the devotees, sadhuninda. So Srila Prabhupada wanted us to read this every morning. And I'm happy that we are reciting these 10 offenses this morning. But then I've here, we have the 10 offenses. These are 10 defenses.
Oh, yeah.
The 10 defenses for the chanting of the holy name, to overcome these 10 offenses. What's the first offense? Blaspheme devotees whose life is dedicated to the preaching of the holy name. So the defense is serve those who serve the Lord. Appreciate their good qualities. That's good. Yes. Serve those who serve the Lord. Lord Shiva said to Mother Parvati, the highest worship is the worship of Lord Vishnu, but higher than the worship of Lord Vishnu is the worship of his devotees. That is higher. Krishna also said that to Arjuna, that Those who say that they are my devotees are not my devotees, but those who are the devotees of my devotees, those are my real devotees. And what's the second offense?
Consider the names of demigods.
Like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma, only depend on the name of Lord Vishnu. The defense. Adore Lord Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, the controller and friend. Respect great personalities such as Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Ganesh and Hanuman as exalted devotees of the Lord. And the third offense. Disobey the instructions of the spiritual master. The defense is obvious. To carry out the orders of the spiritual master with enthusiasm and attention to detail. And the fourth offense? Blaspheme the Vedic literature, or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. The defense is honor and study the scriptures as the instructions of the Supreme Lord. Now, the fifth offense, to consider the chanting of the holy name as imagination. Defense. Consider the descriptions of the glories of the holy name given by the acharyas and the scriptures to be not even slightly exaggerated. But maybe sometimes we do not understand these expressions completely. We know that Haridas Thakur, that in the presence of Gopal Chakravarti, a tax collector, said, yes, just by chanting Namabhas you can get liberation. And Gopal Chakravarti said, you nonsense, what do you think you are? That since many ages, great sages are trying to get liberation, and they cannot attain it. And you say that just by chanting Namabhas you can get liberation? That, of course. And then Gopal Chakravarti said, if it's true that just by chanting the holy name Namabhas you get liberation, I will cut off your nose. And Haridas Thakur said, yes. He humbly said, let my nose fall away if it's not true. And of course that requires knowledge. What is Namabhas? Namabhas is chanting the holy name without ulterior motive. All our desires in our heart are ulterior motives. And they are preventing us to chant. Yes. But it's true. But coming to Namabhas is not an easy thing. In the beginning, there are 3 stages of the holy name. The offensive chanting, the clearing stage, and the chanting of the pure name. If we chant with offenses, the effect of the holy name will be very little. Will be there, but will be limited, very limited. When we start to come into Anartha Nivritti. Anartha Nivritti is factually Namabhas. Then because we are repentant, we are taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. The holy name becomes merciful to us and our heart becomes purified. But that requires an appropriate inner attitude of helplessness, humility. But these anarthas prevent us to come to that point. So how to come to that point of namabhas and chanting with a proper motive? That we need mercy. That's the answer. And mercy comes by following the instructions of the spiritual master. So by nicely following the instructions of the spiritual master, the holy name will be merciful, and we will be able, in due course of time, to enter the stage of namabhas. Shri Radha Gopinath Ke. Namabhas is like, you have the sun today, sunny day, very rare in this country, sunny day. But mostly the sun is not there. We don't see the sun. What do we see? Clouds, many clouds. A variety of clouds in this country. That rainy clouds, different clouds. Does that mean that the sun is not there? No, the sun is there, because otherwise it would not be daylight. So namabhas is like that. The clouds are there, and it's daylight. You see the sun. And that's namabhas. When then it becomes daylight, then you start to see things as they are gradually. So this what the sixth offense, to give some interpretation of the holy name. The defense: experience the holy name as transcendental sound descending from the spiritual world. Yeah. That's what Narottam Das Thakur said. Yeah. Golokeren, Harinam. Yeah, anyway, I don't remember exactly, but he sings the holy name comes from Golok, from the spiritual world, the highest part of the spiritual world. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita it's explained that Goloka Vrindavan, when Gop Kumar arrives there, he understood he was beyond the material and the spiritual world. Interesting how it is expressed. That, of course, it's the highest part of the spiritual world. That in Vaikuntha there are unlimited planets. But he said, all these planets in the Vaikuntha sphere, if you put them together, Krishna Loka or Golok is still bigger. So you can imagine that how big it is. But there, all the residents of Vrindavan, they are chanting Krishna's names. When Krishna left the Rasa dance, gopis started to chant the holy name. First they became mad, but then afterward they started to chant the holy names. And Krishna was forced to appear. So that's activity in the spiritual world. And who brought this holy name to the material world? The Lord of Golok. The Lord of Golok in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He brought the holy name to this world And if we chant the holy name, what will happen to us? Finally, we go back to Golok. So that's the potency of the holy name. It will bring us back to Golok. That's the experience of the holy name as transcendental sound from the spiritual world. And the seventh offense, yeah, to perform sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. I perform sinful activities and then I will chant, it will be okay. But that's an abuse of the holy name. So the defense is protect your investment in chanting by following the regulative principles. It's a little thing we have to do to get this unlimited profit. And then the eighth offense, to consider the chanting as one of the ritualistic performances offered in the Vedas, known as karma kanda. So we should not chant the holy name to become happy in this world. No, that's not the purpose. The purpose is to get out of this world. We should chant holy name just as a service. We are rendering, so Rupa Goswami said, Atasi Krishna Namati, he says, yes, with these senses you cannot know Krishna, with these blunt material senses. But if you use the tongue for chanting holy names and for tasting prasadam, you get to know who Krishna really is. So, service. We should chant as a service to Krishna, out of duty and obligation for Krishna's pleasure. We perform this service of Sankirtan Jagya. And then you can, the ninth offense is to instruct faithless persons in the secrets of the chanting of the holy name. What is the defense? We should discuss the glories of the holy name with the servants of the Lord who relish them. That's what we are doing now. And then the 10th offense is to remain materially attached even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. What's the defense? Chant attentively. Absorb your mind and in the holy name and become steadily detached from materialism. So these are 10 offenses, but then 10 defenses against the 10 offenses. But now the Pandaka here is, the highest form of rebellion against the holy name. Highest form of rebellion. To think oneself, I'm Bhagavan. Prabhupada gave in a lecture on this said, yes, there was this guru who called himself Bhagavan and had many followers all over the world. But the guru died, so where is he now? It's just raging. So the living entity's struggle for existence in the material world is due to his rebellious nature. That's from purpose of Prabhupada in the sixth canto. So why are we struggling in this world? Because of our rebellious nature. That if you surrender to Krishna, then it's like when you are young, that then yes, as a child, you don't care. If I need something, my parents will provide. So we are under the care. No worries. So if we surrender to Krishna, then there are no worries. Krishna will take care of us. But he will take care of us. And but if we are rebellious, then there is this struggle. We are on our own, so-called. Because Krishna says, of course, Mamai van Sochi Vedaka Shiva Buddha Sanatan Manasastra Nindrani Praktisthani Karshati. They bring it are my part and parcels, and they are struggling very hard with the senses, including the mind. Prabhupada many times explained, like we are to Krishna like a finger is to the body. The finger is a part of the body. When it's connected to the body, it functions nicely. It serves the needs of the whole body and is nourished by the body. But if the finger is severed from the body, it can no longer function. It quickly decomposes. Similarly, we are parts and parcels of Krishna. And our lives are meant to be connected with Krishna in service. But if we rebel against Krishna, our lives becomes a struggle against material suffering, disease, death. But to overcome this struggle, we need to reconnect with Krishna. That's the only possibility to give up our rebellious attitude. Accept the authority of Krishna, accept the authority of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So we see Pandraka, he has this envy of Krishna. Envy is the root of all illusion. If we are envious of Krishna, then what's the first thing that happens? What's the first thing when you are envious of Krishna? Please?
We don't listen?
We don't listen.
Or we don't...
Yeah.
Mercy stops.
The first thing that happens is...
A false ego.
Yes, you forget who you are. We are a servant of Krishna. A part and parcel of Krishna. And you cannot change that. And we are only happy when we act as a servant of Krishna. But when you are rebellious, when you are envious of Krishna, you don't want to be his servant anymore. And then you start to identify with something you are not, with the body. That's the first illusion. Because that illusion comes then from thinking oneself the enjoyer. Krishna says, Bhaktaram Saratapasam Sarvalokmashvaram Suram Sarvabhutnam Yatvanam Santim Richard. I'm the proprietor of everything, and I'm the enjoyer, the original enjoyer. So if you think you are the only enjoyer, and you forget that you are a part and parcel of Krishna, meant to give enjoyment to Krishna, but you think yourself the enjoyer, then you identify with the instruments, the senses of the body, which are going to give you enjoyment. So that the illusion creeps in. And then the next illusion comes. So we have a false I, and what happens then? That this is mine. This is for my enjoyment. That when Varadev appeared, and he raised the earth from the nether regions, deeper regions of the Garbhodaka ocean, and he brought it up on his tusk. That then immediately Hiranyaksha, he reacted and said, "You amphibious beast, who do you think you are? Everything belongs here to me, and you did not ask permission for me to take the earth. I put the earth there." He was thinking everything is mine, and the others have to ask for permission. So Palmbeka was also thinking, I'm the Lord of everything. But these symbols were only imitation. I don't know if we made the 2 extra arms from cardboard or something. But we can laugh at Pandreka, but we laugh with ourselves, because we are also little Pandrekas. And we have to give that mentality. Because this mentality this Pandaka mentality led to a very disrespectful attitude towards Krishna, towards his devotees, towards the scriptures. All these offenses, these 10 offenses are included there. So the Bhagavatam helps us to overcome these offenses. Therefore, the study of the Bhagavatam and the chanting of the holy name should go together. If we have every day we hear the Bhagavatam, then it will help us to uproot this attitude, this bad attitude of disrespect. But of course, then we think this is mine, for my enjoyment. So you forget Krishna because you are envious. You accept a false identity. I'm the enjoyer, not the servant of Krishna, I'm the enjoyer. And then you think, oh, this is for my enjoyment, it is mine. So this is, and one illusion comes from the other. So what was the first illusion? Forgetting Krishna. And one forgets Krishna. And one forgets one's real identity. Yeah. And one acquires a false I. And then the next.
The I becomes the center.
Yeah. And then it becomes
the owner.
Mine. Mine is the next one. And after mine, what is the next illusion? That's more difficult to understand. The next illusion?
All is for my enjoyment.
Hmm?
It's all for my enjoyment.
It's all for my enjoyment, yeah. But Lord Brahma, before he starts the Visarga, the secondary creation, he starts with creating these 5 illusions. And the first illusion is called moha. I forget my identity and I accept a false identity. And then you have, this is mine, mahamoha. And then the next illusion is called tamas. But what does that mean? Tamas means
Darkness.
I'm suffering. One suffers because of the false attachment, which are based on illusion, this attachment. So the suffering is also an illusion. Tamas. And this tamas creates a next illusion. This fear creates the last illusion. And that's andattamishra. What does it mean? Andattamishra. Fear of death. We think we are going to die, but we are not dying. Death means that the soul leaves the body. The consciousness continues. The soul continues. But one illusion comes out of the other. And when we become Krishna consciousness, we uproot these illusions one by one and go back to our original position as a servant of Krishna. But the Pandrika syndrome is the deepest form of envy. And therefore, Prabhupada fights against this deepest form of envy. And that is impersonalist, the Mayavadis. Avajanti mamda manusham tanam ashrita. Bhagavad Gita says, yes. The Mudas, the fools, they think I'm an ordinary human being. And they think I can become God. I will merge with Brahman and become God. And many of the devotees were before connected with these Mayavadis. Prabhupada was also, in the beginning, Prabhupada was always speaking about these Mayavadis, and one day a devotee asked, but who are these Mayavadis? And Prabhupada said, it's you. Because we have these false conceptions of becoming God. And it's a big disease. One does transcendental meditation and gets a mantra from a guru, a secret mantra, and you have to pay him a good dakshina. And then you can become God. You just chant a mantra. It's a rampant thing. Even today, you find these things. I don't want to mention names, but I'm sure you all know what is meant. But these are the Pandrikas that they want to kill Krishna out of envy. Shishupal was only envious of Krishna. Of course, he was Shishupal, Dantavaka, Jai and Vijay. A different situation. Pandrika, it's And Krishna laughs. He said, "You want my disc? I will give you my disc. Try to catch it." That's his answer. So he will throw his disc. But anyway, it will finish Paundraka and all his followers, as predicted by Krishna here. And that is, that's what Krishna says in 9:13, that what's the result? That they will never get knowledge, never get any result. Krishna says in the 16th chapter, I throw them into the wombs of demoniac creatures, and they sink down deeper and deeper. But that's Krishna's mercy, because then gradually they will come up again to the human form, to the animal species, and get another chance. But here, Paundraka, he will get Krishna's mercy. He will get liberation. So one can say, he's so envious, and how does he get liberation? We try all to give up our envy. Are we going to get also the same mercy as Paundraka? But it's difficult to say. All what Krishna does good is good. And all what Krishna does bad is also good. Because the resident of Vrindavan, all these gopis, when is Krishna going to come to my house to steal the butter? So that's the supreme good that difficult to understand for us, because we are always thinking in terms of duality in this world, our so-called good and bad. But Prabhupada saying, good is all action in Krishna consciousness, and every other action is bad, because it will keep us in this world. Yes. But Paundraka, yet he gets his liberation. One may ask, how is it that he gets liberation? But it's difficult to say for us, because we are just seeing one moment in a big picture, one life only from Paundraka. What were his previous lives? If you look only at the life of Vitrasura, you don't understand why this demon is going back to the spiritual world. But in his previous lives was Chitraketu, a great Sankirtan devotee who was traveling all over the universe to distribute Krishna consciousness. So we think we see only a little glimpse, one lifetime. But all his previous lifetimes we don't know. But he got certainly the mercy of the Lord and went back to the spiritual world. So that's the mercy of being killed by the Supreme Lord. Therefore, in the previous verse, we have heard that Paundraka is speaking, but Mother Saraswati is giving a double meaning to the Sanskrit. And the other meaning is, please kill me and liberate me. Then that will be my greatest fortune. Anyway, I try to say something on this verse. Any comments? Yes?
Another comment, I was just wondering, I was just saying that Duryodhana, he was envious of Krishna even when he saw his universal form. I never, had that broad vision. I thought that only Arjuna was seeing Krishna's universal form. But did everybody see that universal form on the battlefield? Or?
Yeah. First, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I'm showing this universal form to you, Arjuna, and it has never been shown before. But Krishna has many universal forms. So it was not the same universal form he showed to Duryodhana. So he showed this universal form, and yes, Duryodhana was impressed, but then it was over, and then, oh, Krishna had some mystic powers. So he could not be convinced even by that although we see that yes, Prabhupada says, if a false incarnation comes, then you ask him, oh, show me your universal form. We try that sometimes, but then they reply, I will show if you surrender unto me. Anyway. But yes, Duryodhana was not impressed that because his envy was so deep. So deep. If you are envious of someone, you cannot think as a well-wisher for this person. No way. Therefore, Vaishnavic etiquette says, if you want to correct another devotee, first you must be in a position. You must have the motivation to help that person in spiritual life, and you should not feel envy for that person, towards that person. Otherwise, don't do it. And that's important. This envy creeps also in our hearts, and we have to get rid of it. Nobody can say in this world that he's not being envious of Krishna, because the symptom of being envious of Krishna is that you get a material body. So they are all walking with the proof that they were envious of Krishna. And that's reality. Hare Krishna. Good. Thank you very much. Grantarana Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.